What if the most dangerous moment of your entire day isn't a car ride, isn't a flight of stairs, isn't a slippery sidewalk but the walk from your bed to your bathroom at 3 a.m.? Stop and think about that for a second, because right now, tonight, millions of Americans over the age of 65 are going to get up out of bed at least once. Some of them 2, 3, 4 times, to go to the bathroom. It feels routine. It feels harmless. It feels like just getting older. But here's what almost nobody tells you. That walk, in that dark hallway, in that half-asleep state, is one of the most statistically dangerous few minutes in the life of an older adult. And most people never find out why until it's too late. This is the story of a man. We'll call him Frank, because his story mirrors thousands of real cases doctors see every single year. A healthy, active 70-year-old. No heart attack, no stroke, no cancer diagnosis. He went to bed like normal, and he never got back into it. What happened in between is something researchers in aging and cardiovascular medicine have been trying to get the public to pay attention to for decades. And once you hear it, you will never look at your nightly bathroom trip the same way again. Let's go back, not to age 70, back to age 30, 35, because this story doesn't start at the end. It starts decades earlier, quietly, invisible. In early adulthood. Your body runs what doctors call a tight pressure system. Your blood vessels constrict and relax on command, stand up fast, and your body reflexively squeezes blood back toward your brain in under a second. You never notice it happening because it just works. This is the foundation everything else is built on. And almost nobody thinks about it, because at 30, it never fails. Then comes the 40s. This is where the quiet changes begin, the ones no one feels. Blood vessel walls start losing elasticity. The autonomic nervous system, the one responsible for that split-second pressure adjustment, starts responding a little slower. Kidneys start shifting how they handle fluid overnight. Most people in their 40s notice none of this. No symptoms. No warning labels, just a slow, invisible recalibration happening underneath a life that still feels completely normal. Now here's where the story turns. After 70, something changes that most seniors, and frankly, most of their doctors, during a routine 12-minute checkup, simply don't flag as urgent. It's called nocturia, needing to urinate multiple times a night. Public health surveys in the U.S. show that the majority of adults over 70 experience it. It gets treated like background noise, an annoyance, something you just live with. But nocturia is rarely the real problem. It's the warning light on the dashboard. The real danger is what happens in the 60 seconds around it. Here's the mechanism researchers in geriatric cardiology have documented for years. You're asleep. Your blood pressure, already naturally lower at night, drops further. Then you wake, and your bladder is full, activating nerve signals that can trigger a drop in heart rate and blood pressure at the exact moment you stand up. Add straining during urination itself, which activates something called the Valsalva maneuver, and you get a perfect storm, a sudden, sharp fall in blood flow to the brain. Doctors have a name for the result: micturition syncope, fainting caused specifically by urination. It's been documented in medical literature since the 1940s, and it disproportionately strikes men over 60. This is the breaking point, not a slow decline, a sudden one. In the dark, alone, with no one watching. CDC data has long shown that falls are the leading cause of injury death among Americans 65 and older, with roughly 1 in 4 older adults falling each year, and a disproportionate share of those falls happening at night, near the bed or bathroom. Frank didn't die of old age. He died of a completely preventable chain reaction. Nocturia, a pressure drop, a fall, a head injury in a bathroom with a tile floor and no one around to help. And the fallout goes far beyond that one night. Hip fractures in adults over 70 carry mortality rates in the following year that shock most families. Some studies put it as high as 20–30%. Beyond the physical toll, there's the financial one. Emergency transport, surgery, rehab stays, home modifications, sometimes assisted living costs families never budgeted for. A single nighttime trip to the bathroom can trigger a cascade that reshapes, or ends, a life. So what do most seniors try to fix it? The failed fixes are almost always the same, and almost always wrong. Cutting off all fluids in the evening, which can actually concentrate urine and irritate the bladder more. White-knuckling it and rushing to the bathroom without turning on a light, because I know my house. Standing up fast out of urgency instead of slowly. Ignoring dizziness as just being tired. Every one of these so-called fixes is built on old advice, not on what researchers in fall prevention science have been saying for years. Here is what actually works. Starting tonight. First, when you wake up to urinate, sit on the edge of the bed for a full 30 seconds before standing. Let your blood pressure catch up to your body position. This single habit is one of the most evidence-backed fall prevention steps in geriatric medicine. Second, keep a light source within arm's reach of your bed, a motion sensor night light in the hallway and bathroom, not a lamp you have to fumble for. Falls in the dark are falls you can prevent with a $2 plug-in light. Third, talk to your doctor, specifically about nocturia and blood pressure medication timing, not as background noise you mention at the end of an appointment, but as a direct question. Am I at risk for a pressure drop at night, and should my medication schedule change? This single conversation redirects the entire trajectory for thousands of seniors every year. Here is the warning. Based on the evidence, if you or someone you love over 65 is getting up more than twice a night to urinate, that is not just an inconvenience. It is a documented risk marker for falls and fainting, and it deserves a real medical conversation, not a shrug. And here's the open thought I want you to sit with until next time. If something this common, this quiet, and this preventable is still killing people every single day in this country, what else about aging have we been trained to ignore because it feels too normal to question? That's exactly what we're breaking down in the next chapter of this series, the next hidden pattern hiding in plain sight, in how we age in America. If this changed the way you'll think about tonight's trip to the bathroom, hit like, share it with someone over 60 who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you don't miss the next.